A very good evening to everyone who is part of today's Wednesday FB Live special session from Storytrain, Srividya, Veeraraghavan. Today is quite special because I was just thinking to make it a mini workshop for all you aspiring everyday storytellers. So here we go. Good evening, Gayatri. Good evening, Ranjini. Thank you for joining. And here we go with today's session. A small story to start. Once there was a man who took a small candle and started climbing a long stairway. The small candle started to speak. Where are you going? I'm going up to show the way to the many ships, the way to the harbor. And the candle spoke softly. But I am so very small. The ships can't even see me. The man replied, no worries. Just come with me and keep shining as brightly as you can. Leave the rest to me. As he went up the house, there was a big lamp. He went and lit the lamp, the wicks. He lit it through this candle. And as the wick started to burn, the fire touched the glass which was covering the lamp. And as it beamed heavy, torched, and reached miles across the sea with a shine. That was the lighthouse. It was lighted by the small candle. So friends, we really don't know, however small our efforts could be, we really don't know how many lives that we have touched. We start today's session with a question. Hope you are also some light like this, and hope you know that you have that light with you inside. If not, try to know that small spark that you have within you, and let many others get lightened by your little spark. Yes, a small candle can either, fire a forest or brighten a dark room. So here we go with a small effort that I am putting in to make sure it goes into many houses, many storytellers, and it enlightens their life in some way or the other, and they keep sharing the stories across to lighten any other's life in their world. Okay, so as I promised last, if you were there part with me for the last two sessions, I told them that this week I am also going to tell you one Tamil story. So it's going to be a bilingual session. Yeah. So I want to tell another small story which is going to be in Tamil. If you are a non-Tamil speaking, I'm sure you will understand it. Okay. But anyway, so after this we are going to get into the, I'm also going to give you another small English story, and then we will take in our session to a mini workshop. That is how and why storytelling. Yeah. Okay. This is a story of Tenali Rama. Of course you know Tenali Rama. So many stories have come. But do you know how he got that name Tenali Rama? How? Here is the story. Tananane 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 taranane nane na. Tananane 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 nane na. தென்னாலி கிராமத்தில் பிறந்தாரு. சோம்பேறியா வளர்ந்தாரு. வேலை வெட்டிக்கே போகாம எல்லோர்ட்டையும் கெட்ட பேரு வாங்கினாரு. ஒரு நாள் அவரோ விரக்தி ஆயிட்டு ஒரு முனிவர்கிட்டையும் போனாரு. முனிவர் சொன்னாரு, போப்பா, உனக்கு புத்தி தரணும்னா இந்த மகாகாலிட்டு தான் நீனே போகணும். அதை கேட்டு அவரோ மகாகாளி கோவிலுக்கும் போனார். மகாகாளி பேரை 1000 தடவை சொன்னார். அப்படி சொன்னவரோ பார்த்தாரு, மகாகாளியே முன்னாடி வந்தாங்க 1000 முகத்தோட. நம்ம ராமனும், அவர் பேரு தென்னாலி ராமன் இல்லப்பா, அவரை கூப்பிடுறதோ சில பேர் ராமகிருஷ்ணன் கூப்பிடுவாங்க, சில பேர் ராமலிங்கன்னு கூப்பிடுவாங்க. நம்ம ராமலிங்கன்னே கூப்பிட்டுக்கிறேன். நம்ம ராமலிங்கனும் அம்பால காளியை பார்த்துட்டு வாயை திறந்து பார்த்தாரு. ஆனால் திடீர்னு அவருக்கு என்ன தோணுச்சுன்னு தெரியல. எப்போ பாரு சாப்பாடு பற்றியே யோசிக்கிற இந்த ராமனும் அம்பாவை பார்த்து அப்படின்னு சிரிக்க ஆரம்பிச்சிட்டாரு. நம்ம காளியோ கோவத்தில் வந்தாங்க. சொன்னாங்க, என்ன பார்த்து ஏன் சிரிக்கிற? அந்த கோவத்தை பார்த்து பயந்தாரு நம்ம ராமன். அம்மா நீங்கள் அது எப்படின்னா, அம்மா என்ன யோசிச்சேன்னா, இந்த பாருங்களேன், எங்களுக்கோ இருக்கிறது ஒரே ஒரு மூக்கு, ஆனால் உங்களுக்கு இருக்கிறதோ 1000 முகங்கள் 1000 மூக்கு. இப்போது எல்லாருக்கும் ஜலதோஷம் சளின்னு சொல்கிறாங்க. அப்படியே எனக்கு ஜலதோஷம் சளி வந்து நான் தும்பினாலும் நம்ம இந்த 2 கைகளால் அப்படியே நம்ம கொஞ்சம் சரி பண்ணிக்கலாம். ஆனால் உங்களுக்கு இருக்கோ 1000 முகம் 1000 மூக்கு. நீங்கள் தும்பினா எந்த கையை எடுத்து எந்த மூக்கில் வைப்பீங்க? அதை யோசிச்சேன். ஒரே சிரிப்பு வந்துருச்சம்மா அப்படின்னு நம்ம ராமனும் மகாகாளிகிட்ட சொல்ல, மகாகாளியோட கோவம் பறந்து போச்சு. மகாகாளி இதை கேட்டு அவங்களே சிரிக்க ஆரம்பிச்சிட்டாங்க. சிரிச்சிட்டு அவங்க ராமன்கிட்ட சொல்கிறாங்க, ராமா உனக்கோ நல்ல ஹாஸ்ய கலை தான். சரி, உனக்காக இதோ இந்தா 2 கிண்ணங்கள், இதில் ஏதாவது ஒரு கிண்ணத்தை நீ எடுத்துக்கோ. என்ன கிண்ணம்மா? இந்த கிண்ணம் தான் தங்க கிண்ணம், இதில் இருக்கு ஞானப்பால். இந்த கிண்ணம் இருக்குல்ல, இதுதான் வைர கிண்ணம், இதில் இருக்கு புளிச்ச தயிர். ஆனால் இதை நீ சாப்பிட்டேன்னா உனக்கு நிறைய செல்வாக்கு பணம் கிடைக்கும். சொல்லு, உனக்கு எந்த கிண்ணம் வேணும்? இப்போ ராமனும் எப்போ பாரு சாப்பாடை பற்றியே யோசிச்சுட்டு இருக்கிறவர். அவர் பார்க்குறாரு, பாலா தயிரா? உடனே சொல்கிறாரு, அம்மா அதெல்லாம் சரிதான் எனக்கு, ஆனால் நீங்கள் பாலை காமிக்கிறீங்க, தயிரை காமிக்கிறீங்க, ஆனால் இதில் எது எப்படி இருக்கும்னு தெரியாமல் நான் எந்த கிண்ணத்தை தான் எடுக்குது? கொஞ்சம் இதுலேருந்து அதுலேருந்து கொஞ்சம் கொடுங்களேன், சாப்பிட்டு பார்க்குறேன் அப்படின்னு கேட்ட உடனே அம்பாலும் 2 கிண்ணத்தையும் முன்னாடி நீட்டுறாங்க. இவரும் இந்த கிண்ணத்தையும் எடுத்துக்கிறாரு, இந்த கிண்ணத்தையும் எடுத்துக்கிறாரு, இருக்கிற பாலை குடிக்கிறாரு, இருக்கிற தயிரையும் சாப்பிட்றாரு. இதை பார்த்த மகாகாளியோ சிரிச்சுட்டே சொல்கிறாங்க, பரவாயில்ல ராமனே, உனக்கு சாமர்த்தியம் இருக்கு. சரி, என் ஆசீர்வாதம் உன்னோடையே இருக்கும். இனிமே இந்த உலகத்தில் உன்னை மகா ஹாஸ்ய கவிஞனே கூப்பிடுவாங்க. இனிமே உனக்கு செல்வாக்குக்கும் இல்லை உனக்கு உன் பேருக்கும் இல்லை உணவுக்கும் நீ கஷ்டமே படமாட்ட அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு மகாகாளியோ போயிட்டாங்க. நம்ம ராமனும் நம்ம தென்னாலி ராமனுக்கும் எல்லா அறிவும் வந்துச்சு. அவரும் கொஞ்ச நாட்கள்ல தென்னாலி ராமன்னு எல்லாருக்கும் தெரியவரா மாறிட்டாரு. எல்லார் வீட்லேயும் சிரிப்பை கொண்டு வர ஆரம்பிச்சாரு. இதுதாங்க நம்ம தென்னாலி ராமன் கதை. வணக்கம். So you just heard a Tamil story. Hope you like the story. Okay, so hope you all liking the story. Thank you so much. Okay, so we continue with our session. So one more story. If you say one more story, then only I'll go with my third quick story. And it's a very beautiful story. I like it. Anybody? I'm not able to see the chat properly. So, yeah. Okay, I hope. Okay, so, yeah. So, we go with the third story before we go into the mini workshop. Okay. This story is also about light. And as we are now in the present scenario of this COVID-19 tension, which I don't want to talk about, because here it's going to be a lot of positivity, and we're going to think apart from all that unwanted bombarding issues. So I was just thinking to bring a beautiful story for suiting today's scenario. Once there was a town where the people loved light more than anything. In fact, they just loved the light. So when when the sunrise used to happen, they all used to come out of the houses and sing happy songs. All cheerful, all happy. But when the sun started to set, they all used to become very sad, because it was the darkness which used to cover them, and they just didn't like darkness at all. They were in fact so scared of darkness that they used to go inside the homes as quick as possible and get into their beds. They were so scared of darkness that they would not forget to fire, at the corner they would not forget to light fires to keep away from the darkness. And darkness used to haunt them so much that they would prefer to sleep as early as possible. And before sleeping, they will sing all sad songs. So this was the day for everybody in the town. One fine day, in the same town, there 2 babies were born. Twin babies. A brother and a sister. The girl grew up, as a child, she was so very bright, like a light, that everybody loved her. Because wherever she used to go, she would brighten everybody's face. She was so cheerful with her very presence and with her very smile. So everybody loved her, everybody wanted to welcome her inside the home. But the brother, everybody kept associating him with the darkness, because he was a bit gloomy, and anytime he would come in, people just tried to shoo him away. But because they loved the sister very much, the girl very much, they somehow managed to tolerate the boy also. Now this girl and the boy were gifted with some unique talents, like how we are all. Now the girl had the power to brighten anybody's house. Also, the girl had the she had the inner power to bring life. When she walks up, the crops can grow. The flowers could bloom. So she was cherished by the very town people. But nobody knew that the darkness also had a good talent. He had the power to calm people. He had the power to soothe the animals in fear. He could make everything still, stand still. And he could make even anybody, he can get into anybody's home, then they could just go into sleep and big rest that they could get. So this was their, journey. Till one fine day, the town people, they said, we don't want darkness, we don't want. And they went and requested the girl, please make the sun to stay forever. We just want only the light in our life. We want only brightness. So with so much of pressure, the girl went, and she just went on the top of the hill. And from there she stretched her arms so high that her hands could reach the sun. And it said, stop, don't move. And with the power the girl had, the sun listened to her, and it stopped. Aha! The town rejoiced because the sun stopped. It did not move, and so there was no darkness. So, ta-na-ne, ta-ne-na-ne, ta-na-ne, ta-ne-na-ne, ta-na-ne, ta-ne-na-ne, na. Tane, 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 tane. They were so happy for weeks and months. Tane, 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 na, na, na. Everything was so good. Till they started getting bored, because they were actually so used to sleeping during night time. But now with just the sun all up in the sky, it was hard for them to sleep. How would they sleep? With the sun beaming on their head? And also they started to somehow miss their old friend, the darkness. So they went and requested the girl, okay, now we are like okay with the sun having over us, but still we are missing, the typical night time. So can you ask Mr. Sun to move away? The girl went up the mountain and she raised her hands up as possible, and then she said to the sun, move. But when she said move, nothing happened. Her magic didn't work. Oh, now this was a problem. She came down sad, and there her brother was standing, and he told her, don't worry, I'll help you. The brother went up the hill and he stretched his hands as possible as he could and said, Mr. Sun, move. And with his very words, the sun started to move, and within minutes, the whole sky was covered with darkness. This was what the people were waiting for. But it happened so suddenly that even before they could rejoice it, they started becoming scared again, because they were not ready with their torches in hands. So it was all over dark, and they got so panicked, and they started falling on each other. They wanted to rush back to their houses. They started to run from here and there, but with no light, they didn't know how to go. They didn't know their way. So all this rush, hurry, burry was happening, and suddenly this boy came and said, stop, all of you. Look at your sky. And when they heard the boy, they looked up, and to their surprise, for the very first time in their life, during night, in the midst of darkness, they could see the sky. The sky filled with stars, brightness. Oh, the sky was literally shining with little diamonds here and there. Was it not so beautiful? There came a lot of calmness inside the people. And when they became calm, slowly they walked back into their homes, onto their bed, to have a long rested sleep. And from that day onwards, they realized they don't just need light, but they also need darkness. That's the balance in life. You should have bright. When you have a bright day, you also have a downfall day as well. Where there is light, there ought to be darkness as well. So this was the story of the light and darkness. I'm just leaving the story right here for you to think over from your life. How can you relate light to your life situations? How can you relate the darkness, the problems, in popular terms? How do you deal with those? And also the story can act a tool for the parents to tell the children who are scared of darkness that you need not get scared of darkness. Yeah, so this is a beautiful story for them as well. Okay, so yeah, we are almost on the end of the session. So, but I'm not going to disappoint you. We're going to quickly go into our mini workshop. Yes. So hope you're enjoying the session. If yes, please wave your hand. Please try to encourage in terms of telling how you are enjoying it. Whether yes, no, whatever. Thank you, super. Thank you so much. Yeah. So here we go for the everyday storytellers, to tell you and to make you realize that you're great when you tell stories, and the more you share stories, the more lighter your heart becomes and more stronger your personality becomes. Yes, and you are powerful, because we are all storytellers, and storytellers are powerful. But to use the power properly and to tell a story effectively is what it takes to become successful in anything and everything that you ought to do. So tell your story properly and effectively. Okay, so yes, when I'm talking about stories, when you tell a stories, what is that you need? What is you have to remember? Okay, so this session will quickly take you through that. When you tell a story, you have seen me telling stories for so many weeks that you have been watching me now, or you have seen my sessions, my workshops that I do it for organizations and schools and private institutes. I'm sure if you're part of this, you know how I'm telling. I tell the story, and I would have got some tips from the way I tell. But every individual has their own originality, so don't try to copy the style. Try to have your originality when you tell a story. So I keep telling it, don't try to imitate anybody. I haven't imitated anybody, so I have full rights to preach, because I don't believe in imitating. It just doesn't reflects your personality. A storyteller should reflect his or her personality and has to be authentic when telling the story. Else people know they're very, very smart. They can make it out. No matter how well you make sounds, how good you do all the actions, they will not enjoy your story unless it comes from within you. The you has to be in front of your audience. So I hope you understand that be yourself, be unique, be original, do not imitate. You have your own original style. Okay, so going with that, I'm going to say the stories. STORIES. Storytellers have to tell stories, right? It can be anything. So what does the stories have? The first one, S. According to me, S stands for, it's okay. I'm just gonna show this like this. The S stands for, I'm just gonna show it. Just give me a second. Okay, S stands for sequence. A story is a series of events, small portions of clips that you have to tell, right? So it has to be on a sequence. You cannot, otherwise the audience will get confused. So you must remember to use a sequence. And then a story is not a story or interesting story when it doesn't have a turning point. Because a story is a life. It does breathe life. Yeah? And as our life has got ups and downs, the light and the darkness, so is the stories. So you must have a turning point in whatever story that you tell. Don't tell it in a very monotonous way. You have to bring in a turning point, a conflict, a twist in the story to make it exciting. Obviously, no story is it is not called a story if there is no conflict that has been conquered. Yep. And then STO for observe. When you tell a story, you must observe the details into it. Don't just read a story. Don't just keep copying what others have told. Just follow that. Try to use it from your observation skills. A good storyteller is a good observer. Yeah? So keep observing the key elements into the story. How it can relate to your life and to the others. The details of the character. How was the character? Was he tall? Was he short? Was he stout? Yeah? So the characteristics of the character, the setting, the plot has to be carefully observed and told. If time permits, you can tell it in a very detailed manner, and that will be beautifully enjoyed if told effectively. And of course, R. R is to relate. What story is a story when you cannot relate it to yourself? I told you in my first session itself. You must tell a story, or you must choose a story which is of your favorite. Yeah, of course you have to keep your audience in mind, but you must not choose a story because it is just pure popular. It has to mean to you. It has to be relating to you. And also when telling a story, when you tell it, the audience should be able to relate it. Yeah? You cannot take a simple story to an audience, an adult audience, and tell it in a very simplest manner. You must choose a story which is relating to them. Like how we used today's light and darkness story, or the first story that I told about the candle's flame, how it brightens the lighthouse. Yeah? So it has to be relating. And of course, nothing is, even life is, you have to make it interesting, right? So when you are telling a story, just imagine you are just nagging it, and it becomes so boring that the audience starts to sleep and to yawn. And they start wavering their eyes here and there, meaning, you're not holding their attention. You're not telling the story interestingly. Yeah, that's what I say. You have to keep engaging. That has to be an engaging story that you have to tell. So you have to have the interest. Keep the interest on. How do you do that? Simple. Choose a story that interests you. Tell it in a very interesting manner. Bring voice to the character. Or make it as lively as possible through your personality. Bring in energy. That would be another key element that I follow almost all the time. And of course, a story is different from public speaking. As I keep telling in all my workshops, use emotion. I don't see emotion, I have seen n number of stories being told. But most of it fail because they have been told just for the sake of telling it. Feel it. Emote it. Tell it. And others can also feel it. So emotion. And finally, stories. S. I'm sure nobody would have told you this, but this is the mantra for happiness. Right? This is the mantra for happiness. Simple. Simple. Keep your story simple. Keep your language simple. That's it. As simple, the secret it is. So keep your story simple. Don't have to complicate it. Don't have to by heart your lines line by line and then show your vocabulary in. You can be as simple because people, almost a majority of them do not have the great of vocabulary. They would love to listen in their mother tongue, like how I share today in Tamil. I'm sure those who are Tamilians, they could relate better. Yeah. So keep it as simple as possible, and that's it. That's for quick tips that I have told you for today's session. Yes. So I hope you got some use out of this session. If not, ping me in. But I'm not going to leave you just like that. So I keep giving a lot. People ask me, what is that you're giving it, and you have been like charging one of the highest, you charge so high prices and then you're giving so free everything. I just told them, when I say fees, there are 50% of them they are okay, but 50% of them they don't come back to me because they fear that I charge them so much. But they don't understand why I charge so much. Right? But anyway, so I don't mind sharing. I don't mind doing it free also. So that's why I'm doing it, because this is going to benefit so many. Like I'm just a small flame of candle who is lighting a lamp, like the 10-15 of you here watching me, and so that you can share and you can brighten many other lives. So yeah, it's okay. It's nothing wrong. This is life. I'm a storyteller and I love sharing stories and I love telling how I do it. I'm not shying away. I don't keep any secrets with me. So yeah, so as simple. But then, okay, we're not going to leave. One exercise is for you all. Okay, also for your children. Yeah, I'm going to narrate one small paragraph. Okay, now, believing that you have attended my sessions, you have taken advantage of, you make use of this few tips that I have given you. I want you to give it back. I want you to give it back in form of your creativity. Yeah, I want you to ping me, message me, or mail me at storytrain@yahoo.com, or WhatsApp me. I'll give you the number later. The story completion of one particular stanza that I'm going to say, you have to complete it from your storytelling skills. Yes, and you must send me. I'll be very happy to receive from everybody of you. You must send me in any language. It need not be just in English. It can be any language of your comfort, but do send me. Yeah, and if you're ready, are you ready? So I'm going to just share one stanza, and this goes like this. One day, a small boy around 10 years of age, wearing a very dirty brown shirt with the first two buttons broken, the chest pocket half torn, walking alone in a street. It was night time. Nobody on the road. As he was walking, suddenly, just above him, he saw a huge golden parrot. A huge golden parrot with the red beaks was looking at him from above, and the parrot approached him and just picked him to his beaks. It carried him in his shoulders, carried his shoulder cloth just there. He just carried him straight on. He kept shouting, "Help, help!" But nobody listened. It straight just flew, and there it went inside a big dark cave. The cave of rocks. Just went straight in. It was so very dark. The boy was scared. He started to cry. But the parrot straight went in and suddenly dropped him. The boy fell down. And you, the everyday storytellers, are going to complete this story. Yeah? You listen to the story, right? And I want you to complete this story. Yes? And come back to me, like hardly 5-minute story that you can make. Come back to me. It can be an audio or a video. No text. Audio or a video. Because story writing is different, story reading is different, and storytelling is different. Yeah? I want you to experience that. So go on, shoot a video of yourself, or at least, if you're have inhibitions, at least you can record your voice and send me the completed story. Give a title to it. Yes, and please send it to me. You can WhatsApp your video stories, audio stories also to me. My number is, you can note it down. It is 979 111 9634. So this is my WhatsApp number. You can send an audio file or a video file or mail it to me. It is storytrain@yahoo.com. Hope you enjoyed today's session. Next Wednesday, 4:30 we will meet, and I'm not going to disappoint all the Hindi audiences. I love you and I love Hindi as well. So I'm going to be sharing one nice story in Hindi as well. So we'll meet next week, and by this week you just keep sharing it with your friends and with your family members, and make them also get enlightened with the stories. And of course, thank you for coming in. I love you all. Hope you have a peaceful, healthy life ahead. Meet you next Wednesday. Bring all your family, friends, and everybody joining in. Yeah. Thank you so much.